And Moody's toilet, by the way, the reason I brought him up is because the poor boy had to take another L, or as Jesse P.S. called it, total non-tent death. He's getting kind of desperate because we're kind of past our darkest days. And then we have this, you know, the legal stuff is coming to an end in a way that I would describe as beneficial. And also he made all these bold predictions, and his people made these bold predictions, and they turned out to be lies, incorrect, wrong, not true. Another win for the toe. But they should be used to that by now because they take all kinds of L's. So then they tease like the biggest thing ever because they're like Carl and him and the puppet. They're desperate to shed the L of the legal thing. But you're not going to. Just tell you what you got to do is take the L and move on. They can't do it. They're still butthurt. They're still bitter. They're still upset about it. So what they did was they said, this is going to be this is finally going to turn it all around. And their big reveal, the radio company that Aaron doesn't talk to, that Aaron hates, that hates him. Ouch, boys. Ouch. They're like, do you know Town Square hates Aaron? It's like all my fans of the last 10 years would be like, yes, Aaron hates Town Square and Town Square hates Aaron. That's great. Hey, great job, boys. Definitely, totally, definitely not running out of ideas. Oof. Boy, is that rough. You know, I think that Town Square's still a little bitter because we kicked the shit out of the Revs so hard they had to change formats. They were not happy. Plus, we fucked with them a lot. I get it. A lot of people lost their jobs because Steel Toe kicked the shit out of them. I understand. Like, if Town Square... Look, I've always thought Town Square was the poorest run company out of all of them in St. Cloud. And they always thought I was the biggest head. So it kind of works. But I did see that the Melton fans are still coping about it. Melton and his boys are still coping about it. I understand. Like, I get it. I don't feel any ill will. I mean, if I had to take L's as hard as they have lately, and if my whole thing was just obsessing over me, I'd be desperate too. So, sorry if you're a Melton fan in here tonight, but another win for the toe. Pot Awful and Stevie Lou were getting after old Nick a little bit. You know, Nick kind of makes it easy. Nick responds to people with like 5 followers on Twitter. I mean, look, man, once you can admit to people you did what we all say you did, I mean, it's as Alex Jones would say, it's documented, it's proven. In your home, in your care, your child tested positive for ingesting and metabolizing cocaine. It's not a rumor. It's not a myth. It's not a lie. You were responsible. It happened. You possessed the drugs. It's your fault. You can come back from that, but you only the clock starts on coming back from that once you admit it. So he was making fun of Worski during this whole Ethan Ralph thing, which didn't age very well. And, you know, the poor guy, I kind of feel bad for him because he had to go, like, bowing down to Melton just to get a little sympathy. Because if he goes outside that bubble, and that is a bubble of remarkably stupid people. I mean, the word sheep doesn't cover it. Anytime you go outside that world, everyone else just kind of looks down on him and thinks they're all garbage. He had to go to that. Because the minute he steps out of that, everyone just starts going, you cokehead, drunk, you addict, this, that, and the other thing. And it's just a nightmare for him. So he's found one place, and so now he goes on Twitter and he starts fighting with people again. There's no reason to fight with people on Twitter. They don't matter. They don't affect your life at all, or at least they shouldn't. So he goes on there and starts calling people liars. He starts calling people liars for his kid testing positive. Well, your kid tested positive. You knew the kid was going to test positive. You said to the judge beforehand, if my kid tests positive, by the way, it's weird. Yeah, I'll say. And then he lied. This one pissed me off. He lied again about leaving a bullet of cocaine. It fell out of his pocket, and he left it right next to my, at the time, 4-year-old daughter. That is a true story. That 1,000% happened. I'm the one who found it and picked it up. And since he keeps lying about this story, I will go into greater detail. He left it there. I showed my wife at the time. My wife at the time just went upstairs. Didn't check on the kids, didn't do it, just went upstairs. Just boop, went in the bathroom. And I'm angry. I send a text and I say, everybody get the f out of my house. Now, when I say everybody, I obviously don't mean April. April lives there. She goes, I can't believe you would kick. She made it about herself. Anytime there's anything that might make her look bad, she turns it so she can be a victim. And I didn't want to tell this part of the story, but since someone keeps lying, April goes, I can't really kick me out of my house. So I'm trying to explain to a person who's high on cocaine, no, you live here. I'm talking about everybody else. Get the out of my house. This is over. This is done. April stays upstairs, doesn't come check on the kids, anything, nothing. Just stays upstairs. Me and the kids and a couple other people, we start playing a board game, start having a good time, whatever. I'm coming down from it a little bit. And, other people, everyone else in the house leaves except April, myself. I go to bring the kids back, to drop them off with their mother. And I'm still just pissed. Beforehand, I have a fight with April because April feels I didn't pay enough attention to her afterwards. April feels like I kicked her out of the house, which I should have. I mean, at that point, that should have been it. I should have said I should have meant her. I should have kicked everybody out. I should have filed paperwork that day. I was a couple months late on that. That's my failure. That's on me. That's my mistake. But she gets mad that I didn't pay enough attention to her when all this happened. When it comes to something like that, being left around my kids and that happening to my children, maybe because she's not a parent and she doesn't have her own kids, she doesn't understand this, you get tunnel vision. You get tunnel vision, you go, I'm pissed. This is only about my kids and I now. And so April and I have a fight about that. I come back and drama. I keep trying to explain. I didn't mean you. I didn't mean you. I wanted everybody else to get out of the house. She then locks herself in the bathroom and grabs a big knife and threatens to start herself. She found a way to make a kid having a bullet of cocaine that Nick left next to the child. She tried to find a way to make that about herself and to try and get sympathy for it. It was fucking disgusting. That, you know what? Now that I bring that up again, that should have been it. That should have been the last day. I hung in there for probably another 6 to 8 weeks after that. And that should have been it. And by the way, let me tell you, that scenarios like that scenario played out a lot. That wasn't the last time some shit like that. It was always drama. I've told you that before. Every day, drama. Somebody's drama. And it all centered around the people who are getting high are never doing anything wrong. And how dare anyone say they're doing anything wrong? Oh, my God. Was it a nightmare? So him lying about that, I was just like, all right, enough. Plus, you got to remember, he's got, 5 years of probation coming up? He let that out. No drugs, no alcohol. Bro, if you're not honest with yourself, like strangers on the internet, if you're not honest with yourself, you're going to relapse and you're going to have big problems and you're going to go in prison. That's just it. So lie to me, lie to the world, lie to the internet. I don't care. You lie to yourself, kiss it all goodbye if you haven't already.